Iran says it had conducted a satellite launch into its highest orbit yet, the latest for a program the West fears improves Tehran's ballistic missiles. VOA's Jeff Custer has more.
The announcement comes as heightened tensions grip the wider Middle East over Israel's ongoing war on Hamas in the Gaza Strip, and just days after Iran and Pakistan exchanged airstrikes in each other's countries. Iran's state-run IRNA news agency said the satellite was placed in an orbit some 750 kilometers above the Earth with a three-stage rocket. The report said the launch was part of Iran's Revolutionary Guard space program alongside Iran's civilian space program. UN sanctions related to Iran's ballistic missile program expired last October. The U.S. intelligence community's 2023 Worldwide Threat Assessment said the development of satellite launch vehicles shortens the timeline for Iran to develop an intercontinental ballistic missile. Jeff Custer, VOA News.
The United Nations says that women and children are the main victims of the Israel-Hamas war, with 16,000 killed so far. AP correspondent Karen Shemes reports.
The United Nations agency promoting gender equality has said an estimated 2 Palestinian mothers lose their lives every hour since the war began. In a recently released report, the agency pointed to gender inequality and the burden on fleeing the fighting with children and being displaced again and again. UNICEF communications specialist Tess Ingram, who has just come back from Gaza, said a baby's born into the war every 10 minutes in horrifying conditions.
Nurse Webder has performed emergency cesareans on 6 dead women in the last 8 weeks.
Gaza's health ministry says nearly 25,000 Palestinians have been killed in the conflict. In Israel, around 1,200 people were killed during the October 7 attack by Hamas. I'm Karen Shamas.
You'll find expanded coverage of world news and events at our website, voanews.com, 24 hours a day. This is VOA News. President Biden says Democrats are closer to reaching a bipartisan deal with Republicans on tighter border security and funding for Ukraine, but former President Trump could scuttle the deal. AP correspondent Jackie Quinn reports.
Senate negotiators are closing in on the details of an agreement on stricter border measures that could unlock Republican support for Ukraine aid, something President Biden's been pushing for.
I'm ready to solve the problem. I really am. Massive changes, and I mean it sincerely.
But the deal is starting to wobble. House leaders are facing pressure from GOP front-running candidate Donald Trump, who wants even more concessions from the Democrats. In Iowa last week, he said,
I will seal the border and I will shut down the invasion of our country.
In 2018, then President Trump intervened and rejected a previous bipartisan attempt to address border security. I'm Jackie Quinn.
A senior lawmaker says Russia's parliament will consider a law allowing for the confiscation of money and property from those deemed to spread, quote, deliberately false information about Moscow's military actions. Vyacheslav Volodin, the Speaker of the lower house, said the measure would apply to those calling for, quote, extremist activities or the introduction of sanctions against Russia, as well as those, quote, discrediting the armed forces, a criminal offense under law adopted after Moscow sent troops into Ukraine. The law, which covers offenses such as, quote, justifying terrorism and spreading, quote, fake news about the army, is regularly used to jail and silence Putin's critics. A bankruptcy judge agrees to let Rudy Giuliani challenge his $148 million judgment in a case brought by 2 election workers he defamed. AP correspondent Julie Walker reports.
In court Friday, Giuliani's attorney tried to convince the bankruptcy judge to temporarily lift a stay to allow him to appeal the judgment. The judge agreed to the procedural step with certain conditions. Giuliani's bankruptcy filing last month came a day after a judge ordered him to pay the election workers. It also brought forth a long list of creditors who say he owes them money, including a supermarket employee, the IRS, and Hunter Biden. Some of them attending the Friday hearing virtually. Julie Walker, New York.
The British Navy says 2 of its warships have collided in a harbor in Bahrain, causing damage but no injuries. Social media video appears to show the HMS Chiddingfold reversing into the HMS Bangor as it was at a dock Thursday. Royal Navy Rear Admiral Edward Algren says an investigation is underway. Algren says that despite its training and enforcing safety to the highest standard, such incidents still occur. The 2 mine hunters have been based in the Middle East to help protect merchant vessels.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comments section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.